the U.S. is evacuating non-essential staff from Beirut. Okay. Listen, it does definitely feel like we're entering into pre-war conditions. And this is exactly what General Jack Keane is basically saying here, guys. All right. But let's see where this video takes us immediately. I definitely hope that that does not come to fruition, but it does definitely look like, from the outside looking in here, that we are entering into a troubling era.
And the U.S. State Department evacuating non-emergency personnel from its embassy in Beirut. So the department says the embassy remains operational with its core staff in place. The move comes as the Trump administration builds up military forces in the region ahead of possible strikes on Iran. And Bill has much more on that from the board.
Yeah, thank you, Dana. Check this out now. Give a listen.
And on building out a nuclear program. This is their prophecy that says, no, we're not going to capitulate to the infidels, to the big Satan, the United States of America. So I'm unsurprised that they haven't agreed to the basic ask we have, which is like just
stop,
like a normal nation.
Right.
I
Be
suspect
normal.
they will not do that, and I anticipate President Trump will take a response that will put even more pressure on the regime.
Okay, here we go now. I want to take you back to the region, show you on the map here about the advanced U.S. military buildup. See these red dots here? These are bases that host U.S. aircraft, right? So it's Jordan, it's Saudi Arabia, it's Oman. Everything in yellow is where the U.S. Navy has established a presence there on the ocean, right? Eastern Mediterranean, Persian Gulf here, Red Sea, and also off the coast of Oman as well. And you got, well, the Lincoln and the 3 destroyers that accompany that. And you've got just massive amount of material that you have options for. And now, if I could, sorry. This is above, this is a satellite picture from the Natanz nuclear facility, of which there were 3. There's Fordo, Natanz, and Isfahan. This is Natanz, and this is December of 2025 versus really 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago in January. So what I want to show you here is that this appears to have been taken out. All right, back in Midnight Hammer, late June of last year. And then this, it's a little hard to see here, but if you look very closely, you can see the white top of a roof or a tent that's been established. And based on some of the reporting, at least 2 of those 3 sites, they've set up this tent, this roof, and what they're doing, we do not know. General Jack.
They're rebuilding, guys. And understand this here, guys. Military assets are definitely being like repositioned all around the Middle East at this time here. Again, without a doubt here, pre-war conditions.
He joins me now. And sir, good morning to you. It's my understanding that Natanz doesn't even have electricity. What's your best guess? And where do you think the commander-in-chief's head is right now about hitting Iran?
Well, first of all, on the sites that we certainly destroyed, what Iran has been doing is attempting to assess how much damage can they recover that site. Is it really worth the effort? Also publicly reported, we know they're looking at another site that we did not hit. It was not a nuclear site, so they can actually develop
at
new
that
capability
time, right?
At that site. But we're tracking all of this. The Israelis are tracking it, and we're tracking it. And believe me, we're not going to let them get too far advanced any place without having to, either one, they voluntarily stop work through negotiations and agree to a substantive deal, or 2, that it would be on the target list in addition to a very comprehensive target list if we do conduct a military operation, which I do think we will.
Okay.
Yeah, I think it's coming any day.
Got a 2-minute warning to the president, so we might get interrupted here, sir. I want you to listen to Steve Witkoff. He's on with Laura Trump on Saturday. My View with Laura. And this is what he said about the nuclear capability. Watch the wording now. Within a week, he says, they could be. Watch.
They've been enriching well beyond the number that you need for civil nuclear. It's up to 60%. They're probably a week away from having industrial grade bomb making material. And that's really dangerous. This is something that they
for them, yes, absolutely,
have to stick with until they prove
to
us that they can behave.
Sir, how do you interpret that comment when we were told that their nuclear program was obliterated and destroyed in that raid on Midnight Hammer, 3rd week of June last year?
Well, I don't know what the basis for that is, but certainly if that's the case, that there still would be months away. Getting actually to weapons grade is 90%. To go from anything north of 20 to 90 doesn't take that much time. But listen to what the absurdity of all this. They sit across from our negotiators and say, we are not building a nuclear weapon. The enriched uranium you need just for civil nuclear power is 3 to 5%.
It's low. Right.
And they are way beyond that, and they have sites buried underneath the ground. But yet, they lie and lie. So why
Consistently.
would we ever agree to a deal with these people when we know they're lying to us right now? They've lied to us for the last 46 years, and they will continue to lie and cheat. In my judgment, we should do nothing to extend the life of this regime when we have an historic opportunity right now, given it's so weak and fragile, to finally set the conditions for a regime collapse. We have never been in this position in 46 years. And the only reason we're in this position because of Netanyahu and Trump, the 12-day war, and what they did to weaken Iran, not just militarily, but psychologically, politically, and as we all know, they're already in a tank economically. This is a fragile, vulnerable nation that does have some retaliation capability. I'm not dismissing
In
of
fact,
that.
it's going to be interesting.
That's why we're putting resources in the region to protect our bases and to protect Israel. But the historic opportunity is here. It is right in front of us, and that's why I think it's the preferred option. If we get this regime to collapse and we start working with another regime, like we're doing in Venezuela, people that we can bend to our will, we have the opportunity for peace and stability that could be enduring for decades to come.
Guys, pay attention to what he just said here, because that's kind of what's going on in Venezuela. Yeah, it's like specifically.
Have not seen that
in other places around the world.
That is what is in front of us.
Yeah, you're dealing
Bend
with
to our will.
Squeeze one more in here. You're dealing with a leader who's be 87 years old in April, and he's driven by theology. That's a hard thing to uproot. In the meantime, the New York Times reports this on screen. Trump considers targeted strike against Iran, followed by a larger attack. Trump has been leading toward conducting an initial strike in coming days intended to demonstrate to Iran's leaders that they must be willing to agree to give up the ability to make a nuclear weapon, end quotes. Do you see that as a possibility? Hit them, show them that you mean it, then pull back for a larger one later?
Well,
isn't that what we did already?
I think the history is clear. Whatever Iran says or whatever Iran pretends to do is not real. They will cheat. And even the nuclear weapons threat, that's not even a good deal in itself. What about the ballistic missiles? That's what they've been recovering since the June war. That's what's got Israel so concerned. That's why we have so many assets in the region to protect our own bases from that. They would have to agree to limit the range of those nuclear ballistic missiles, 300 kilometers, and so they couldn't hit Israel, and also limit the numbers of those. And they would have to stop supporting the proxies. After all, they've been destabilizing the region for multiple decades by supporting the proxies. The whole October the 7th is all about Iran fueling Hamas and Hezbollah to try to destroy the state of Israel. Where is our memory? That was just 2 years ago. So they haven't changed their stripes. And
no,
yes, they
haven't.
They are ideologues, theological ideologues. And it would be much better to remove them and work with nationalists. They may be hardcore, but that you can bend to our will. And that is a much better option.
Pardon my interruption.
Okay, guys. Okay. Oh, well, that makes more sense. I'm going to be honest here, because I mean, trying to do any type of business with a culture specifically that believes exclusively in their religion and not anything else other than that, like there's no kind of move or push or pull from it. If their book that was written, 2,000, 3,000, 5,000 years ago is basically saying this, even though we are in 2026, we're going to go ahead and ignore everything that's being said here and just completely run our country based off of this very antiquated system. Listen, have your religion. I like that for you. I mean that here. But you cannot run a country exclusively rooted in that, because then you are immediately having all these type of crazy blind spots, bro. It's not conducive to run a country like this. And definitely, Iran is definitely that. Okay, without a doubt here. So trying to do any type of business with them, knowing that if their book specifically, or their worship leader, their imam, right, they specifically say this goes against our religion, we're not going to do this, then how can we deal with you? I'm going to be honest here. Like, you become like excessively irrational to the point where we cannot logically deal with you in any meaningful manner. Guys, be fully aware here. Yes, we are the United States of America. Okay, we can do all these absolutely amazing things, guys. Absolutely. But guys, when it comes to the Iranian military, all right, and their capabilities specifically on ground based off of them having nearly 700,000 troops. Listen, I was complaining back when I thought that we were going to put boots on the ground in Venezuela, and Venezuela has 150,000. Imagine my perception now here. Okay, understand this here. I don't want to see Americans large scale losing their life in 2026 due to this literal nonsense here. It's going to have to be something moderately strategic, but definitely Iran absolutely has the potential to retaliate, astronomically. Let's just say this here. This is not Venezuela. All right. Without a doubt here, this is not Venezuela. This is not going to be as easy as most likely all of us hope it will be. Right. But it's not going to be. Not Iran specifically. There's a reason why they've been terrible over there. Everyone hated them for the most part that are surrounding him. Right. They deal with them because they're there. If that makes any sense here. But there's a reason why no one has pushed into Iran, not specifically any of the Gulf countries. All right. There's a reason for that. And so let's not go in here with our American, let's say, we can defeat anything and everything, right? And think that's going to be easy. It's not going to be easy. Not that. Not Iran, right? Iraq was supposed to be easy. It wasn't. Iran is worse, guys. All right. I mean, it's not China. Don't get me wrong here, but just understand that it's going to get very troubling. Let's say this here. But listen, definitely hope everything goes well here. And as more progresses, we'll definitely follow into it. Follow the story 100% here, guys. But listen, if you guys are new here, please like and subscribe. In the meantime, I'll catch you guys later.